Alright, I guess it's a comment video. Yeah, I mean a comment video. Yeah, it'd be fun. Probably not. Anyway, um, interesting idea. Okay, I don't know exactly what video this is. What would make sum p plus e equal n? Why do protons plus electrons equal a neutron? I don't know. That's just what they find it decays into. Okay, I haven't done any proton and neutron experiments in my kitchen. I'm not the other p e electron of an atom. I don't know. Why don't all the p and e's combine until there is just extra leftover p or e? Well, the whole point is they sort of do combine to make a neutron. So the neutrons are probably very dense in, say, something like the sun or some high pressure environment. That's probably why they have neutron stars, is because the neutrons happen a lot. The protons and the electrons stick together when all the bits are compressed and heated. And it's when they're evacuated from that process, pushed out of the sun, that they're forced into other configurations that allows for the separation of the electron from the proton, and therefore it gets put in pressurized mathematical locations around the nucleus. But yeah, I'm really doing a theory of how every little aspect of how atoms evolve inside of this stuff. I'm doing like the theory of evolution. I don't need to go heavy into DNA or heavy into any of this stuff. All right, so this is all, maybe it's interesting to you, but I don't care. First off, is it's not part of the real action of the universe. But whatever. Combined, there's just extra leftover P or E. That might suggest why some atoms have +1 or +3 or -1 or -3 charges. The fact that they have a charge doesn't have anything to do with how they were made. It just has to do with their structure, the fact that they have a certain number of electrons. And when there's a certain number, that means more electrons are blocking to the external world the face of the protons in the nucleus. You can't see the nucleus if there's more electrons around it, right? The less electrons, the more you see the nucleus. It's that obvious. It's that simple. So anyway, John Gray. Comparing radio waves with light waves makes things unneeded more complicated. No, it doesn't. It's a clear and important distinction. See, everybody thinks all this stuff is the same shit, and it's not the same shit. Light photons we don't have much control over because they have to be extracted individually from electrons in a very specific way, and that decides their frequency. It has to do with the pressure of the atom. But something like radio waves, we get to control the frequency of the radio waves. We dictate the separation of the bits. We control the frequency. Big difference. In my opinion, who cares? I'm sorry, but not interested. The question is, no, I'm deciding what the questions are. The question is, their theory is stupid, my theory is reasonable. That's the only question I'm really interested in. Do light particles wave interfere? Yeah, that's what you get to through experiments. You have to analyze the experiments, the evidence we have, to find out what the answer is. There's not going to be any other way to do it. All you have is a little bit of, some sort of shadows. You have little bits of lumps and this, and you're trying to put it together and make a model of it that fits all the evidence that exists. And in my opinion, if you really analyze the evidence, you can figure out that forces don't interact with forces. Light is a force. There go. There's no interference between photons and photons. Photons, if you want to change their direction, they have to hit an electron. That's the rule. It makes sense. I'm sticking with it. I say no. Well, at least you got that right. Because when I shine a light on a surface, I see the surface light up. And when I know When I now add an extra light, I see a surface light up more and don't see dark spots or dark lines appear suddenly. Well, it's not a very good test because the frequencies are so small, you're not going to see those lines. So you can be fooled. If you use monochromatic light on like an oil slick, you'll see a very different pattern. You'll see a pattern of lines. Where if you use colored light, white light, you'll see all kinds of colors, and they won't be in the same exact places. So it is a little tricky. So they have to show light interfering without a slit. Well, that's the important part, is to recognize that what is the slit? The slit is surfaces. The surfaces are what's causing the phenomenon. The surfaces are the transition layer that causes refraction. Surfaces cause refraction. If we can get that accepted, then it can be understood that when you're shooting the light through the surface this way, it's just as it screws the light up just as much as shooting it through the surface this way and having it bend. Not a complex concept, really. So analytical sentient. Oh, this is the guy from the other channel. Hey Gary, please indulge and then ask a question if you may. If you may. No, that's if this is not, it's not said right, but anyway. I have recently started learning a little bit about electronics theory and application, partly as sort of a foot in the door approach to related but deeper education in the eventual future. I am able to do some hands-on learning with this Arduino beginners kit. I have open source microcontroller development board, came with a decent array of components and a book containing projects instructions, associated descriptions. Yeah, that's the way to learn, is to blow up a few things. But I'm looking to familiarize myself with more with the basic atomic theory relevant to the electronics. I don't know if I'd call it atomic theory, but I suppose it is. And ultimately electrical science. And since said theory is integral to the subject and how electricity works, etc. Yeah, well, I'm explained a lot of how it works in my videos, better than their explanation anyway. I noticed that in the Electric Boom's concluding video, he mentioned that he went ahead and read through a paper written by Robert H. Romer, as Lewin had referenced it in the video. Yes, a paper about a circumstance that is so easy to dissect that I don't even know why it's worth all of this crap. We know two voltages can't be in the same place, and anybody who knows anything about electrical theory should be able to figure out that when a wire is having electricity induced into it, it's going to have different voltages at all the different places on the wire, because it's basically a battery. It's a generator. It's replacing essentially a generator. The wire is having a changing field affecting it, and it's creating a voltage. Anyway, page, let's see. Alright, Electric Boom emphasized one of the works that Romer's paper critically cited. I downloaded the PDF to find out what specific part. Page 396 of A. Shadowitz, The Electromagnetic Field, McGraw-Hill, who cares? Also highlighted was Volume 2, Chapter 22 of the Feynman Lectures on Physics, specifically third paragraph, top following webpage. Yeah, well, whatever. You think I care about all this crap? I mean, I already have the answer. My question is simply if there are any particular books or such that you would recommend, or at least come to mind. Well, no, because it's all crap. They have no clue how any of it works, so the books aren't going to give you any theory on the atomic functions, because they have no clue. I think that electrons are not what we think. Do I care? But not waves either. Well, screw you. On page 339 of General Organic Biology, Chemistry, 6th edition, under positron emission, it states, well, you know, this, you know, what even the whole existence of a positron, right? It's just kind of crap. All right, all it is a the idea is a essentially when it's in an atom, it doesn't exist. So let's not pretend this thing is a real thing. This is an abstraction, a thing that somehow is ejected out of an atom that you break in some way. And the real point is the only way they identify this thing is because, well, it looks just like a proton except it's moving too fast. So they assume we have to call it something new. When no, it's probably just a proton that's going slower. There is another type of radioactive decay process called positron emission. Well, that's also bullshit, okay? Because there's really no, all of the emission happens under where no one sees it. So they put something in that's not positrons, and they pull out something that's not positrons. And the positrons are supposed to be doing the thing in between, the part you can't see, which involves the conversion of a proton in a nucleus into a neutron plus an ejected positron. Well, see, they have no understanding of the strong force, okay? So they don't really understand what neutrons do when neutron and proton come in contact with each other, because they don't understand that the neutron has an electron and a proton. You know, they don't understand that's basically all it is. And so when you put an electron between two protons, because they have no theory, okay, they don't understand that that's not a strong force, that's incredibly weak force. All the energy leaks out. You don't trap any energy. All the proton energy leaks out of the electron, all the electron energy leaks out of the protons, so everything gets really compact. So they don't understand that. So in their theory, they're thinking, oh, there has to be some more energy coming out of this system. And so they invented the positron for that purpose. Because they don't understand that, no, there's no energy in the system. So nothing has to come out of it, because there is no energy. There is no strong force. All right, which can be thought of as a positive electron. Well, it can be thought of as a lot of things. You know, flying frog has the same mass as an electron, but a positive charge. Well, look, they can't figure out. The only way to measure mass, quote unquote, is to weigh it. Can't weigh electrons. My thinking is that electrons may be charges. Well, again, your thinking. You're just not getting the agenda here. All I give a shit about is proving their theory to be nonsense and supporting mine. I'm really not doing your thing. My thinking is that electrons may be charges carried on some lower subunit of matter. Well, so why would I bother with this crap? I don't have enough on my table. You want me to consider some dopey submatter fucking theory. And that it can, you know, I'm perfectly satisfied that my theory completely explains all the experiments it needs to explain. I'm not looking for any new answers. I have them all already. I really have a complete theory. It's done. It's baked. It's cooked. It just doesn't need any of this, whatever. Let's put some fruit in it. No, I don't need to put any fruit in it. It's fine. Fuck. All right, carry both positive and negative charges. Well, yeah, whatever. In my opinion, you just don't understand what charge is. If you think things can carry both, or that things switch, or any of that crap. Neutrons and protons, I also think, have an underlying subunit. Who cares? That is neutral until the electron subunit carries whatever charge it is carrying and transfers it. Well, if there was something neutral, we'd be able to know of its neutrality. Clearly, there isn't nothing neutral. The neutron isn't an elemental particle. It's made of a proton and an electron. They're the only elemental bits. I think the charges are mistaken for the subunits. Well, who cares? Because they're only found in subunits. Who cares? Why do I have to care about this crap? That is more complicated than the commonly accepted theory. It's just, the commonly accepted theory is stupid, and this is just dumber. So it's dumber and stupid. Thank you. I feel so much better to know they're stupid and dumb. But it explains why positrons and electrons have the same mass. It doesn't explain a fucking thing. And it also explains why neutrons and protons have extremely similar mass. Oh, because you invented the magical subunit. The quark. Oh, fuck. Delete. Hi Gary, hope you are well. I remember that you mentioned Stephen Bro was working on this very problem and trying to verify it with an experiment. Have you heard if he made any headway towards demonstrating it? I think somebody posted a response to that, but I don't see it. Yes, of course. So yes, Steve is alive and well. I thought I killed him, but I didn't. And so hopefully in the next few days, week slash month, this will get done. Hi Gary, just for the sake of clarity, I think Ken's word isn't geo-processional, but rather gyro-processional. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. Geo would be gyro in this context. I mean, it's obviously stuff spinning around in some sort of geocentric way. He seems to slur a bit when speaking. I'm not buying it, but maybe there is some distinction. Well, I don't think there could possibly be a distinction, and it's all crap anyway, because magnets don't have motors in them. I mean, fuck. I mean, I don't know how people can really seriously think there's a magnet can sit around for 10,000 years and it's got all these moving parts inside of it, and it just, oh yeah, I'm just magically full of stuff going, doing all kinds of processional geoing. Anyhow, I enjoy your presentations even though I don't understand too much of the material. Jim, well, I don't know how you can't understand it. I mean, it's really, I have made it so damn simple, but whatever. So there's some creep, Sidronian or something. Bright Insight. So this is this whittle of this little weasel making crap videos where you just read some wiki pages and recites crap. Is interesting channel to watch. Says you. I don't know if this guy is an actual scientist. His website looks like it's something out of the 90s, LOL. Yeah, like it has information on it, which is really what anybody who has a brain expects a website to have. Yeah, it doesn't jerk you off. You know, it doesn't give you little heart thingies and have little pop-up blippies. And it doesn't have music playing. I'm not even going to read this. Fuck you. Just fuck off, idiot. Oh, God. Happy New Year. Yeah, fuck you. John Gray. I predict that when you hit a metal rod in the middle with a hammer, oh, Jesus, it will start to wiggle and wave. Yes, it'll vibrate. It really won't wiggle and wave. There'll be a procession of the disturbance. When you hit it on the other side in the middle, I don't know what the other side would be, with a hammer, it will start to wiggle and wave, but in the other direction. Whatever. When you hit the rod with two hammers on the same moment, I guess you mean at the same moment, but each hammer on the other side, the rod will not wave. Well, it will. So, yeah, that's just wrong. But it will become flattened and warm. Well, whatever. But it would be wrong to say that the hammers interfere with each other. Brother. Look, this isn't that complicated. I've pointed out before, photons are force. So they're like gravity and like magnetism. You can't make magnetic fields interact with magnetic fields. They can't do anything. You can't bend a magnetic field with another magnetic field. You can only add to fields. Shit. Force doesn't interact with force. Matter doesn't interact with matter. You have to... Force has to hit matter, okay? And matter moves force. That's all that happens. The antenna in the experiment in the other video is a metal rod. So this is really a little bit too obtuse and indirect. It just is. I mean, we know what's happening. Photons hit conductors, and they can transfer the energy into electricity. Shit. Oh, I won't read all this Stephen Bro stuff, because he's just saying hello, basically. What is your theory? How can someone find one video describing your theory? Whatever. You don't know how. You don't know that YouTube has channel names right under the video, and you can see the person's other videos. Sir, fuck you. A theory isn't disproving other theories. Well, some theories do exactly that. They would completely make the other theory superfluous and a waste of thought. As in, evolution makes God theories completely unnecessary. What's your theory name? Oh, fuck you. I won't even read that. Oh, man. These are all in the same video. Another asshole thinks there's... Oh, I'm so important. I must type 6 comments on one video. Fuck you. I mean, these assholes don't even introduce themselves. Like, say something like, I took 7 years in college on physics. I kind of know some stuff. You want to ask me some questions or have an interaction? No, these assholes just show up with their crap. And it's all crap. The problem with pressure being gravity is simple. Oh, yeah, really? Can't explain dark energy. Well, there isn't any. That's a redshift invention, right? They found too much redshift, so they had to invent dark energy, okay? It doesn't have anything to do with reality. Can't explain Mercury orbit. Yeah, it can, because Mercury's orbit, the change is tiny. And it really just comes down to the fact that the sun's center of gravity is actually precessing. And that's causing the precession in Mercury. Dumb fuck. Alright, around the sun. It can't explain nuclear weapons. I don't know how a pressure theory doesn't explain nuclear bombs. I think that's pretty stupid of you. Obviously a pressure theory, a theory that a bunch of pressure from the outside forces forcing matter closer together than it wants to be. I think that theory makes a little bit of sense when it comes to a nuclear bomb, you dumb fuck. God damn it. If your theory on gravity true, why does GPS, so I've already been there and done that. Velocity. There's a relationship between velocity, idiot, velocity, okay, and the fact that matter changes with velocity. And so if it's like if the matter's a clock, the clock breaks with velocity. That's the proven relationship. There is no fucking gravity relationship. Gravity just happens to create velocity, asshole. Has to be adjusted if the pressure... Has to be adjusted if it's pressure. The adjustment would have to be hourly. Why? But you don't think bent space happens all the time, every millisecond? Oh, God, you're just too fucking stupid. Yet the adjustment is made once. No, it isn't. Man, you're really dumb. I honestly do not know how you can have a supernova in your interpretation of the facts mathematically. So he thinks he has math for supernovas. Alright, I'm not going to even read the rest. Fucking retard. Alright, there is no accepted theory in which you take out empty space, things get closer. I don't believe in you can take empty space out, idiot. I agree current theories are jokes, not physics, but the evidence must be respected. No, it mustn't. Okay, Eddington is garbage evidence. The two-slit is garbage evidence. As I'm pointing out, the radar experiments are garbage evidence. No, the evidence must be scrutinized, dumb fuck. Alright. Why would somebody come here with the name Michael R. Pence? Jeez, you're just asking me to say fuck you. You can remove password prompts in Visidoo. I don't know what... Oh, I guess that's VI super user or something. Super doer. Whatever it means. Super user do. Yeah, that's what it stands for. God, programmers are such girly boys. Anyway, open terminal, type in super user do, and then do this Visio do thing. Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate the Linux advice. Appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, just I don't get you at all. You are chosen for resurrection. That's what it says, right? I don't know what that means. Fuck you. Who are you? 'Cause you are simply a genius. You know, I just don't know whether that's just trolling or what. So I'm going to delete it because I don't know what that is. 'Cause I'm going to call somebody a genius and use the word 'cause. Like you knew what a genius is. A guy who uses 'cause knows what's genius. Yeah, probably not. Steven again. Okay, yeah. I'm already just linking me to a 1-minute video. Anyway, it's alright. Whatever. Most people are stuck north-south mentality, but reality will prove theoretical. Maybe I'll read this part just because maybe you said something. Mainly measuring answers are a bit expensive. Well, maybe I'll read some of this just because it's on the subject of the experiment. I really have a snag. Okay, so his snag is, you know, the guy next door is making too much noise. Have a change, PC upload, blah, blah, blah. Okay, watched the 1961 video, saw it ages ago, but had forgotten most. Have the same klystron tubes, but not actually use them yet because I'm tripping over gun plexer transmitters, right? Far easier to set up. Can send to you if you are interested in experimenting, but can be a pain to sending up the whole thing up. You know, if I want to bother with this crap, I'm probably just gonna go with something simple like a basic radio transmitter. You know, I'll just do the big experiment, you know, outside experiment, because yeah, I don't really you know, it's just too much of a pain in the ass trying to detect gigahertz signals. Mainly the measuring instruments are a bit expensive anyway. Did make a video or two in reply, but needs editing down. Much thing to may agree on. We may not agree on lens law thing, but I'm still trying to think my way through your arguments. I don't know what argument there is. The two things are separate. You know, all conductors do the lens law thing. But the real point is what's the stronger reaction? I mean, we're really just saying that everything could be said to be paramagnetic, and then being ferromagnetic is an extra thing. So iron is not only paramagnetic, but it's also ferromagnetic, and the ferromagnetism dominates its behavior. So you don't even see its paramagnetic nature. Something like that. Apologies to one and all for my comic videos. Yeah, they're pretty funny though. Keeps me going anyway. Oh, I don't know if another video of mine. Let's see, upload months ago. Oh yeah, well, whatever. You just post videos. It's fine. If people don't like a video, they can just stop watching it. Get more 7 gigahertz tests. Okay, that can wait, I guess. All right, so I guess there isn't that much there. Okay. Most people are stuck north-south mentality, but reality will prove theoretical monopole potential surfaces. I don't know. DC ground pole potential to whatever charge. Whatever, it's more crap. There's two charges. There's actual is plus and minus charge. It's not just charge and no charge. What supports and holds atoms are working reality, where we observe and manipulate forces. It explains a lot, question mark. I don't know, what did you just say? I know it didn't explain anything. Have gravity and magnetism a Helfreg carrier frequency Chen property, not a wave surface. What is this crap? Plasma properties? Plasma properties. Plasma is so fucking irrelevant. then what would be a monopole? I don't know. You can't figure it out. An electron is a monopole. A proton is a monopole. They're the monopoles of magnetism, as I've said about 700 times now. What some say they have found, question mark. Watching at 25 minutes. Sorry for typos. English is my third language. Yeah, well, whatever. I can't do anything with that shit. Whatever the cause, it's shit. A language that doesn't affect the way you think about programming, what the fuck, is not worth knowing. What is that quote, really? Does that have any use to anybody? No. Alright, superior mind. LOL, yeah. A sine wave is just a way to get on and off to happen. Well, it's an easy way to draw it, but frankly, it'd be even easier just to draw a line going up and down. -1 to 1, really. Some effect in essence, but it doesn't prove the energy itself is coming as some wave in some medium. Well, it certainly doesn't prove that it has any of the slopes, because most of the math is acknowledging that all there really is an amplitude at a vector. There's no, I'm going on, I'm slowly going back on again, I'm going off slowly, I'm going on slowly. No, there's none of that demonstrated anywhere. They're clumps, as Feynman said. Bullets aren't a wave, but I can still apply sine cosine math to their effects on a surface they're interacting with. Well, as I've already pointed out, that especially if you're doing sine and cosine, especially if you're counting this movement as up and this movement as down. So if ground isn't at the base, then clearly, all right, you can just subtract everything you don't want and just count the amplitude between the lowest low and the highest high. But I've already said that. Alright, let's see if there's anything in the spam folder. Oh, I do have a couple of comments I deleted by some scum. Alright. Oh, John Gray's got thrown in here for some reason. Please don't complain. Okay, we did that. There are lots of videos on YouTube about special magnets. No, I'm not doing that. Check out Super Magnet Man. Yeah, I've seen his videos. Well, some of them. He proves nothing. Absolutely nothing. He doesn't prove that he has a magnet that does any of this shit. The guy that Ken has his pyramid probably from is also on YouTube. Maybe Ken has a link to him in his description box somewhere. Like, I can't type Super Magnet Man into the fucking search box? I mean, John, you really have some sort of degenerative disease, right? You're just going to keep getting dumber and dumber? The guy makes his pyramid mags for special customers. So he says. Yeah, it's just talk. They really work. Really work at doing what? There's no videos of them working. That's just horse shit. Oh. And you can measure it with a Gauss meter. Yeah, that's the whole point. It doesn't mean anything. See, if you put it on the surface of the magnet, as I pointed out, it doesn't mean anything. Because to hold something, okay, you have to be able to do it at a distance. So if you're just sort of cheating the Gauss meter. The Gauss meter is just a magnet. You don't understand that, right? It's just a magnet. And if the profile of the Gauss meter is small enough, there'll be, yeah, well, I already explained it in the video. I mean, I explained it in the damn video. He's typed this crap on. I'm explaining how it doesn't mean anything. Oh, fuck. The frame rate of the video you are showing is not too bad. Oh, I guess it's frame rate. Maybe you should try to screw the camera. What? No, I'm not screwing the camera. Frame rate in some kind of setup down. Well, gee, duh. Well, I never thought of trying to change the settings. Oh, no, I'm too stupid to think of... Oh, you mean I should look for the settings and change the settings? Oh, fuck. Alright, this really was worth... Thank you, whoever put this in the spam folder. Thank you. Piece of crap. I mean, John, if you used Linux, then you could, you know, maybe sit there and ridicule me a little bit. But, you know, it's a little tricky getting this graphics crap to work in Linux. Asshole. I mean, it works fine on this computer, right? So my old computer, it likes the hardware. It works good. The new computers, not too much. The MIT experiments are highly arbitrary. Whatever. Because they use huge bend metal cases around their sending and receiving antennas. Yeah, for a reason. They're microwaves. The photons or waves are interfering with the metal. No, they reflect off of it, and that's the whole point. They're directed by it. Like the reflector on a flashlight. It helps. Like when we look at a distant radio source with a huge radio dish and the photons are focused at the focal point by interfering with the metal dish. It's not, they're not interfering with it, they're reflecting off of it. But whatever. By no means there is any proof here that photons are interfering with each other. Yeah, well, I mean, obviously that's the point I'm making, but I don't know why you're pointing out details that don't really have anything to do with it. You have to have an explanation for some counter argument, some other theory, right? There's clearly a pattern. And so you have to explain why there's a pattern. You can't just say their theory's wrong, but I have no idea why it's happening. That's kind of lame. So you have to say something like, yeah, you're right. It's probably just jamming the signal. The same goes for the pin, slit, and double slit experiments. Well, I separated the experiments for a reason, because the ones with visible light are very different than the ones with radio waves. The photons are interfering with the pin. Again, they're not interfering with anything. They either hit something or they don't hit something. Forces, energy. You can only know it exists because it can hit matter and make it move. And when it does that, the force can change direction. Not with each other. Yes, well, at least that's correct. The force can't interact with the force. The experiments with the raster confirm this. I don't know what that even means. Alright, so yes, that was another garbage post. Thank you for spamming it, whoever did it, because, yeah, John's just not what he used to be. So the other asshole that I deleted. I mean, you know, these people, they show up here and they say, oh, I can treat Gary like shit. I can talk absolute shit. See, I didn't go on this crappy message board and talk trash. I was very polite. I made a polite argument. And these assholes come back here and they say, well, I'm just gonna start shit with you. No, you're not. I don't need you. All right, I'm not opening up to saying, look, I want to argue your theory. I don't want to argue your theory. I have no interest at all. I want to argue my theory and argue how conventional physics sucks. All right, Gary, you are unironically brain damaged. You give a link that refutes your own BS. Well, as I pretty clearly pointed out, it doesn't do that, idiot. But you're too stupid, so there's nothing I can say. And literally shows you how, he says in capital letters, and literally shows you how a standing wave is made. So again, that stupid, crappy animation, he thinks is a reality, and he thinks that somewhere in there was a standing wave. amazingly stupid. He thinks that photons just do this in space. Yeah. And that there really is nothing in between. Oh, God. He doesn't understand they move like bullets. Anyway, and you still deny that a standing wave is a superposition of two opposing ones. Well, I deny in places where there's no medium that's not possible. See, a rope has to be in one position. You know, a rope. It's matter. It's a medium. Okay, and water waves have to be in a place. But photons are not being controlled that way. They're not riding in medium. They're not tied to each other. They can't pull on each other. God, you people are so fucking stupid. Alright, 60 plus Walter Lewin videos and you still have no clue what Maxwell's equations have to do with the wave phenomenon. That's right, because it doesn't have anything. They're vector equations. You want to keep pretending there's something else, go ahead and pretend. They're intensities at a vector. They're arrows pointing in a direction. So much force in a direction. That's what the equations formalize. Is force in a direction. There's no fucking waves in the equation. Oh, man. Really, Gary? Really? Yes, really. You actually are one of the dumbest, most pathetic human beings I've ever seen in my fucking life. Well, I don't even get to see you, you fucking pathetic, inverted penis, fucking dried, shriveled brain motherfucking piece of crap. Because you're too much of a fucking coward, Mark Selbgram. Okay. An EM wave is an aggregate of many photons. And how do they aggregate? Are they stuck together with crazy glue? Which is what this experiment is about. No, it really isn't. Obviously, none of these interference experiments are about aggregates. They're about individual photons that either interfere or don't interfere. And in the case of light, they're supposed to be interfering with themselves. Asshole. So it's perfectly fine to talk about it that way. Why would it be fine, again, to talk about it the way it isn't? It wasn't fine for Richard Feynman. I mean, he's one of the fathers of quantum mechanics, and you're telling me that you know Richard Feynman was wrong. Okay. You're not demonstrating that you're that smart, that I should believe that you know better. Why should I think you're smarter than Richard Feynman? Why should I? The fact that you mocked that, I didn't mock it at all. I said, I don't have to believe in waves. You still don't, you're so fucking clueless you can't even figure out that that's all I said. All I said was, I don't have to believe photons are waves. There's no mathematical obligation. There's no physical evidence obligation. There's absolutely no obligation because waves aren't a proven effect. They don't exist as a proven effect. And I certainly don't think they exist as a cause. Jesus, really shows how dishonest you are. So you're claiming I'm dishonest when I didn't do what you just said. You're the one who just lied. That somehow the fact that you mocked that. I didn't mock that, asshole. You can't prove that because it didn't happen. I merely defended my right not to have to sit there and call it a wave because I don't believe it is one. Oh, man. You see, you showed how dishonest you are. When will you ever have the bare decency to understand the, what is it, prerequisite knowledge? Well, why don't you give me your real name? You can email me. All right? And why don't we put some money on it, asshole? And when I'm proven right, let's have a real hard punishment. You know, so something really big that you have to shove up your ass. You know, I mean, eating a little bit of crow. Maybe you have to actually, eat something disgusting. Like Trump's toenail clippings or something. Before you come and start hackling, whatever that is. You are one sloppy, most ill-informed fucktards I've ever seen in my life. And you're a coward, a fucking coward. A coward. Go ahead. Come on. Email me with a real identity, coward. Exactly the persona you despise. Yeah, no. I despise lying little weasels like you. Little weaselly cowards that come on boards and talk absolute fucking goddamn shit. You're gutless. Gutless. Dickless. Alright. Like some kind of paramecium. Fucking microbe. Bacteria without a brain. Alright. Something's in the wall again. I think there's flying squirrels now. Jesus Christ. Fucking critters. So anyway. Just hate this planet. Just hate it. So, till the next time. I think that's all there is. So, I think we're wrapping it up. Yeah. So, yeah. Till next time and such.